Hello everyone, this is Lexi Bolson and Lindsay Rasmussen, and we have done our presentation on symbolic interactionism. So to start, we wanted to talk a bit about the history of the theory. This theory didn't really have one specific person who contributed to it. There were actually a lot of influential people who added to this theory. In the early 1900s, there were four very important contributors who really started building the theory. They were William James, John Dewey, Charles Peirce, and Josiah Royce. Together, these four came up with the beginning assumptions, which were the world is seen as constantly changing and dynamic. Nothing is set in stone. Social structure is not fixed in time. That meaning comes not just from objects, but from interactions with that object. And finally, they had ideological commitment to progress and democratic values. So this was just the beginning. The theory was still being formed, and as more time went on, people made more contributions, and it grew and became more well-known. And these people are considered principal scholars. So there's George Herbert Mead. He is one of the most well-recognized and was the researcher who came up with the idea that we learn about ourselves based on interactions with others and the gestures that they use. Charles Horton Cooley was the one who came up with the idea of the looking glass self. This is where we derive meaning from others about ourselves and act accordingly to how we believe we are perceived. William Isaac Thomas came up with the idea that families construct their own realities. This relates to the social structure in which we are brought up in and the culture, and it affects both families and individuals. Herbert Bloomer was the one who came up with the name symbolic interactionism and discovered the three basic premises or assumptions of the theory. So now we are going to talk about the three premises or assumptions of the theory and why they matter, and then we're going to watch a clip and see some examples of these ideas. The first assumption that Bloomer came up with has to do with the concept of meaning being the central element of human behavior. So the first part of the idea is that people will react to something according to the meaning that that thing has for them. This is the idea that we grew up differently and with different experiences, and so we attribute different meaning to different things. Next, we learn about meaning from interaction with others. And the last one, as people come into contact with different things and experiences, they interpret what is being learned. The second big idea has to do with what we believe to be our own self-concept. The first part of this idea is a human infant is antisocial. This means we come into the world with no preconceived knowledge of who we are or what we believe. It's something that we learn over time. Next is once an individual develops a sense of self, this will provide motivation for future behavior. Finally, the idea within the assumptions is how we interact from self to society. Individuals are influenced by society. In other words, we are impacted by what happens in the world around us. People learn the rules and values of society through everyday interactions within that culture. These assumptions teach us about what we learn about the world around us, how to interpret the world around us, and how the world around us affects what we interpret. Now we are going to talk about salience, identity, and roles. These are all connected and are quite literally how we view ourselves and what we see our purpose as. Roles are the parts we play in life. This might be the role of a mother or father, an employee or student. It is the part we play to a specific situation and in which those specific norms and values relate. Our salient role is the one that is most important. It is the one we devote most of our attention and our time to fulfilling. And our identity is what we define ourselves based on our salient roles that we fulfill. In these next clips, we are going to look at how certain people see their role, their identity, and how they decide which is their most salient role.
So you've been all buddy-buddy with Weber lately.
I'm staying out of it, but you are very beautiful.
Oh, super beautiful. I'm brilliant. If you want to piece me, compliment my brain. she's on this
Okay.
thing.
If you had to choose between the thing you love, surgery, and the person you love, which would you choose?
You would choose Izzy, right? Because you two are going to get back together.
Shut up.
Wait, why do you have to choose?
It doesn't matter. You just do. Which is it? Surgery or love?
I want both.
That's what I said.
No, you can't have both. That. You have to give up that. Learning the procedure. Tuning out the world until you get it. Like, doing the procedure is the only thing that matters. Like, if you don't get to do it, you'll die. That's what you have to give up.
For what?
Love.
Why?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, that's not the point. You know you couldn't do it. You know you choose the procedure.
Fine. If I had to choose, gun to my head, I would choose surgery. Okay?
Okay, well, thank you. Is that so hard to say? I don't know. Why is it so bad to say that out loud?
Because it's crazy. How it's crazy. Surgery, it's just a job. It's just a job. It's the thing you come home from, not the thing you come home to. And if you lose your job, you get another one. Because there's always another one. But if you lose your love, if you think you're losing your love, then suddenly nothing else matters.
This is what you guys talk about during lunch?
I'm with them. Love comes and goes. Surgery doesn't.
Results are back.
You choose love.
Yes. Just did a perfect dissection without lacerating the portal vein.
You do that little fist pumping surgery too?
So we see these video clips that we see ourselves in very specific roles. And these roles are very important to us. We devote our time and our energy to fulfilling these roles, and that is what becomes our salient role. We can see from this theory that we can learn all about how we see ourselves and others. We can see how we choose to portray ourselves, and based on what we think by others' reactions to us. We can use this theory to help families see each other's point of view and learn how each other thinks. And we learn that because we all have different experiences and roles, we don't see everything the same, and we relate to different experiences based on our culture and social construct within our families and within society. Thank you so much for watching our presentation on symbolic interactionism, and hope you enjoyed it.